I've no idea if any of that was recording. Oh dear, never mind. Let me check on YouTube. I'm still kind of working all this out. Let's see. My channel. Part 2 live. Let's turn the volume off. No, I don't think that was actually recording. Hi. So, welcome to part 2 of our wolf. I'll just go back through what I just said. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to work just in the centre of the forehead and then work up to that second ear. And then we may work our way towards this left eye. I tend to, because I'm right-handed, still have to chat for your messenger. No problem, Monica. Hello, I'm good, how are you? Gidget? How's it going? What are you drawing tonight? Yeah, I kind of made a bit of an oopsie there that I didn't hit go live, so I don't think any of what I recorded at the beginning actually recorded, which doesn't matter. I wasn't really saying much anyway. Yeah, so we're going to carry on with Tala the Wolf. We're going to finish within 2 hours. And we're just going to enjoy what we're going to achieve tonight. I wonder if I need to move this a little bit more, because we will be focusing on that ear. Oh, a dog walker's here in North Bristol. Hi, are you drawing tonight? Not that it matters, it's just nice to see people. Not drawing that now, I'm going to watch you instead. Oh, bless you. You should join sometime. Do some drawing with me. It'd be really lovely. So we'll start in a few minutes. Not going to start right now. I'm just going to let my students log in. Anybody that is watching and can't comment on YouTube, just send me a Facebook message and I will see it. Let me see how many people are online. I know there's a couple of students coming tonight, which is really nice. I'm going to have to try and plan part 3 because next week I am cat sitting. 3 watching. I feel like I'm missing 1 or 2 people. So I'll just wait for a little while. Oh, it's Ali from Patreon group. Oh, hi. Good to see you. But yeah, please, if you can't type on YouTube, just message me Facebook. I'm really itching to get started, but I always have to just hold back a minute because I know it's only 3 minutes past 7. Some people may be late, so I'll let them be a little bit late. So I'll just go through my materials quickly. I've got the 2H, 2B, 4B pencils. I've also got the 6B out because we do have some quite dark points, so we might use that 6B. I've got my elusive paintbrush which has returned, which is very nice. Mono eraser, blending stumps 1 and 2, and a putty eraser. You can utilise other things, so if you don't have these blend-in stumps, for example, you can condense up some paper and do the same. Stuff in chow mein down at the same time. Don't get chow mein on your drawing. I have a rule that no food goes near drawings. No food. I say I have a rule. I very rarely do I follow said rule, but yeah, you know. Let me just check the view count. I've got 2 of you. I'm going to give it a little while longer. Because I haven't seen Evie. She would usually join in. Is Evie here? Or did she not redo part 1? We'll start in a minute. Don't give yourself indigestion. Did she sign up? 3 going, oh, I can't even look because I'm on the wrong account. Let's see. Where is our event? Oh, if not, just get going. There's plenty of you here. Okay, I think we'll just get started and they can catch up. I've shared the stream. Well, thank you so much. I wonder if that person that was in last week will be around. But yeah, if you need me, just drop me a message on Facebook and let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the 2H and we're going to start pulling down the forehead towards the middle here. So we're going to work our way across, come up into this right ear. If we've got time, we'll then work our way down this left side of the face and then into that eye. Though as much as that is a nice fun area, I don't want to start it if we're near the end of the stream, so we might work around and then come back to that in the next one. So Ali, because you've got part 1 to finish, just leave a little small gap. This was like the last zone that we worked on before we finish, but if you end up drawing over this bit, the process is still going to be the same, so don't worry about it. Alright? I haven't been on book face in years. Right, here we go. So hair direction is pulling down. Can we see that okay? Yeah. Into the middle of the face there, and it's still curving its way over. I'm going to put a lovely layer of 2H down. Now I did say in the last one that I'd look at how to do the lightness of this, like, because you can see there's so many light hairs in this before this session. I totally didn't do that, so we're going to figure this out today. So when you got the centre of the forehead, the head here, the hair is actually going to start going off to the left, like a left-hand curve. I'm just going to dab away that line art there. Just get rid of that a little bit. And then just put these hairs back in. You know, the hair is going to curve over. Nice, short, choppy pencil strokes here. Is the lighting okay? I'm literally blinded by light, so I think it'll be okay. You guys see this okay? Can you let me know? Do I need to move it a bit closer, a bit further down? Just, you guys that are drawing, just let me know. And I can look at changing it. Just make sure that you're putting a little curve in your pencil stroke there. And watch that direction because it is going to switch. So the fair direction is really important. It's not just like so it's correct, but also it helps create bone structure. Thanks, Monica, appreciate that. Because you're naturally following the bone structure of the animal. Okay, give that a real good smooth in, like really push that in. I've had one of those very busy weeks this week, so if I'm very honest, I nearly forgot about tonight's stream. I remembered around about an hour or so ago. Even though I posted on my page this morning, oh, don't forget it's tonight. I was sat there, just minding my own business, and I was like, oh, I haven't actually set up ready. And then we had a feral cat arrived very injured to our house last week. we finally got somebody out to help trap it, and it literally went in the trap at 6:10, and this lady was working at the other end of town that was going to come back for it, but fortunately you managed to go pretty quickly. Right, I'm going to switch to my ridiculously small 2B, and we're just going to again just pull in some of the hair, same sort of detail, kind of leaving little gaps. So yeah, I had a very, very angry tomcat in my garden briefly, but he's quite nastily injured on his head, so I'm quite glad he's gone. Otherwise, he could have stayed. So just creating this underlayer. I think where I might be busy the next couple of weeks, I might do parts 3 and 4 as watchables. Oh, bless you, Monica. Yeah, I totally did nearly forget. Okay, again, I'm going to give that a smooth. I'm going to take this a little bit slower. This 2B is so tiny. I wonder if it'll fit in my sharpener. Just about. Nice sharp 2Bs. Just to get in the little hairs, like, just so they stand out a bit more. It's a bit better. A lot of you, as my students, are going to really favour this one because it's going to be quite easy for you to do these little flecks of dark hair. At least 2 or 3 of you definitely draw similarly to this, so I know it's going to really be quite easy, whereas I actually find hair like this a little bit challenging, but it's important that you don't shy away from challenges, you just keep practicing them. You can see already we're starting to get those lighter hairs in between. And try and keep your pencil strokes quite short because we've got very short, choppy hair. But I imagine their coats are very, very soft. I wouldn't know. I've never touched a wolf. I have no intentions of touching a wolf. But I can imagine it's very, very soft. Getting messages through. Cat lady's messaging me a photo of the cat. I need to see this because he was so angry. Oh, bless him. Not a happy boy at all. Okay, I'm going to carry on coming up the other side. So obviously we're kind of parallel to like the centre of the nose here. Like if you had a ruler and put it down, it'd be quite nice and straight line there. And then I'm going to start allowing the pencil strokes to just start curving over the opposite direction. Look how tiny this 2B is, like really like sitting just about in my hand. Definitely a finished 2B, this one. every so often I'll just rotate that pencil round, just so I get that sharpness back again. Yeah, I should get an extender. I do have some, but they don't fit this brand of pencil, which is what's really annoying, so I ended up losing them at this sort of size. Well, my 3-year-old tends to take them. I don't know how many of you have kids, but my daughter's only 3. She goes to nursery, and she's had her first fight. I giggle. It's sort of not funny. I'm going to smooth this in. But sort of is, because she's 3. Basically, one of the other kids pushed another child into JJ, and she scratched her face. I'm going to stay with the 2B. And basically, she's been very upset about it all week. Very upset about it. And she keeps telling us that this keeps happening, which we don't think it is. And we've spoken to the staff, and they're pretty sure that it's only happened once. Oh, yeah, you understand this then, Ali. And I've been checking in with the staff, you know, how's she getting on? Like, they made up, yeah, and they're like, this was yesterday, they're like, yeah, your one, JJ, went over and hit this other child. And I'm just like, for what reason? Was there a reason? They think that she did that as like a just defending herself, even though nothing was happening. So I was like, right, okay, great. So obviously they're trying to teach like kind hands and using our words rather than our hands and stuff. And today, apparently, like, she's even more upset over it. And when I asked her, she was like, this child hasn't said sorry. This child's like barely 2 years old, like. But she now really doesn't like this child, and we're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're facing this at the age of 3. It's just so daft. Right, I'm just going to gently just smooth a little bit, just very softly with my blending stuff. I'm not going to push it in. I just want to just remove some of the harshness there. And now I'm going to use the mono. I'm just going to clean up the edge because I've used this today. But yeah, my child is being quite violent now. Going up to other kids and just hitting them. It's like, great. Good mum. Drama increases. Thanks, Monica. Daycare drama. Absolutely. Honestly. But she's expecting this child to say sorry. And I said, are you friends yet? And she was like, we are not friends. I was like, oh gosh, okay. Are we sure? Just doing little pencil strokes here. Just going to keep this edges nice and sharp. I thought we'd get another year or so before drama like this started, but hey ho. They become violent at 3. Or 2, rather. I just hope we don't get a birthday party invite. It would be so awkward. Okay, I'm just keeping these edges nice and clean. If anybody's not drawn with me before. All I'm doing is keeping my monorazer flat to my paper, and I'm just circling it, just so I can get the edges nice and sharp and clean, so then it's nice and clean again. Oh, just wait, a whole world of drama for you, mate. She ain't going to school. I know. I'm alright. I'll get tutors. I ain't dealing with all this bullying and all of that. Absolutely not. Ugh. She's such a lovely kid. But yeah, it has begun. So I'm going to put loads of white down. I'm just going to kind of just in places just put, I'm not, again, we're not really following the reference photo to the T here. Like, you know, this part of our wolf isn't, like, obviously what keepers will do is they'll notice like lighter patches. So like we've got like a little light patch here, got a light patch here, light patch there. And they may like use that as an identifying feature, but every single time this animal comes into a new coat, it's going to come, like some of these lighter features might just move a little bit. Or they become quite thin. Move here, small school, all nice kids. I mean, I would live in Norway in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Gonna go back to the 2H and just gonna fill in this little section here so we're nice and level. And as we're coming down the forehead here, the pencil's gonna really start curving in. Can't afford to live in the UK, let alone live in blinking Norway. It's very expensive. So I'm not sure how I feel about leaving newborn babies outside in the freezing cold. The little baby crash that happens outside restaurants makes me giggle. Just really curving that pencil over. I'm going to give that a smooth in. It might be interesting, or something you guys might be intrigued or interested in. I have a raffle coming up next week, and it's to raise money for my marathon run. So I'm running the London Marathon on the 23rd of April because I'm absolutely off my head. And I have a couple of pretty cool prizes, but one of them is a 2-hour one-to-one session with me over on Zoom. And yeah, we'll draw together, we'll pick a subject and we'll draw together and you'll get all of my attention. So yeah, want to keep a lookout for that and buy a raffle ticket, and that's open to everybody. And if you really want it to be in colour, Monica, it can be in colour. But it's only 2 hours, so we'll probably pick something like a little eye or something to draw, something like that, or a little bit of fur or whatnot. But yeah, back to the 2B. Please look out for that because all the money's going to charity and raffle tickets are going to be really cheap, and hope to sell lots of them. Just curve that pencil round, so make sure you're curving it in. So where it's coming from the edge here, we're curve. Sorry, I know my thumb's in the way a little bit there. Just curving it in and round. There's also other amazing prizes. There's another artist has donated a graphite drawing. Her work is beautiful. Obviously, I have a graphite drawing in the raffle prize too. There are tickets to a big international horse show, which was really cool. Got them through today. I've got kids' books, got wax melts. Yeah, There's some really lovely prizes available. I've also got like a hoodie and stuff from one of the tax shops that supports me, which is really lovely. And she's donated a like a wooden sign for you to put on your stable door. Oh, sorry, my thumb was in the way. Getting carried away here. Go and give that a smooth in. Just a little bit, and then I'm just going to carry it on. It's hard for me to do in this position, especially with such a small pencil, so forgive me, but I'm going to curve pencil in around. So yeah, in 5 weeks' time I will be running the London Marathon. I am scared. At this point. Okay. Another smooth in. Hair's looking really nice. I'm going to sharpen up so I can get that a little bit of extra detail. And again, just start putting in your deeper pencil strokes. Oh yeah, it would be nice. I think the recovery is going to be really quite tough. So the Monday after the marathon, I'm going to get my other half just to whiz me up to the gym so I can just go for a swim. I don't think I'm going to be able to drive. Like, I'm a bit worried about how my legs are going to feel. And then the Tuesday I'll probably do the same. I'll probably just go up to the gym and go for another swim. And then the Wednesday, I'm not sure what I'll do on the Wednesday. The Thursday I'm in for a sports massage afterwards, and we didn't want to book it the day after because it would have been a bit of a silly idea to book it in after, like the day after, because it'd be too painful. So yeah, I think like within a week or two I think I'll be recovered, and then I'll be back out training. Because I don't think I'm going to give it up. I think I'm going to carry on running. I've really enjoyed it, actually. I think what I'm going to do, because I'm struggling with the 2B there, just sharpen up that 4B. That's a bit better. Just so I can like hold the barrel of the pencil a bit further away so you guys can see it a bit better. You guys stay with your 2Bs. You don't really need to switch into your 4B. Unless you really want to just bring in that little bit of extra depth, but it is literally just so you guys can see what I'm doing here, because yeah, I was just struggling to let you guys actually see it without my hand in the way. And then this section here is actually a little bit darker. I'm just going to darken that a little bit more. But yeah, in terms of the actual run on the day, like, there's lots of things that I've read and, you know, to say, like, you know, don't try something new on the first day, stick with what your body's used to, like your training bits and bobs and training gels and stuff, like, don't change them. So I feel like I'm ready for it now. But in terms of like mileage, I'm a bit scared. I won't even lie. Like, the whole idea of knowing that I'll be doing 26.2 mile if I manage to stick to the blue line. If I don't manage to stick to the blue line, then I could end up doing over 30. So yeah. But I'm really looking forward to it. Everything I've read says the atmosphere is amazing and people really help you run through it, and yeah. Yeah, we're looking good here. Just making sure that we're not going to lose too much of like the facial detail just by some of this is just a little bit light in zones, and yeah, I think I'll be alright. I'm not doing it alone, which is really nice, and somebody will definitely finish after me, so knowing that I'm not going to be last is really good and really helpful. Okay. I take my hat off to you, you'll be awesome. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm just trying to think. I'm going to change my mind rather than doing this top here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the drawing and we're going to go for this section here. So I just need to cover up my drawing just so I'm not rubbing it off. Let me just get some glassine paper just to put just under it a little bit there, so I can. I'm going to go for the 2H, and the reason I think it's probably best to come around this area here is just so we can attach this section on. So we're just going to carry it on now. Ali, don't worry about this section here that we've already done. You can always come back to it, but as I've said to you before, process will be the same as normal. Nothing's really different here. Now the hair just down here is flicking out. Some people may not even finish exactly. I'd feel for anybody not able to finish it though. Like, you spend weeks, years planning for this. Like, there's so much into it. Like, it isn't just running, it's all about your diet, energy gels, drinks, training, trainers, physio, strengthening. Like, my life has been so consumed. It's been unbelievably busy, and I didn't expect it. I generally just thought I just needed to run, but actually I needed to plan a lot of other things. But yeah, I had no idea how much I actually needed to do. So just curving my pencil over this, and as we're coming around this area here, it's going to curve right down in. You always want to try and curve your pencil in some direction, because it's just going to give it that natural look. It's going to give it that bone structure look and layered look as well. And obviously we're just doing the first layer here, so first layer is not the be all end all. It is the part that's just going to set the tone more than anything. The magic comes from the other layers, but it's still important that you get into the habit of going in the direction that the hair is sitting. Okay, again, I'm going to give that oh, look how dirty that is. I'm just going to clean up the blending stump. make sure you smooth down in the direction that it's going. Okay, switch into your 2B. I'm going to try and do my best here with this 2B. Just text me with a half, see if you can send up the other 2B pencils. So go over your 2B. Okay, hopefully he'll understand what that means. Try to describe what the box looks like as best as I can. And just make sure that you're flicking your pencil out here and curving it up. We've got this dark line here that we need to keep. But what's important is that we balance it out so that, yeah, we've got a dark line, but there is a small graduation on either side so that it just sits nicely and it's just not left out on its own to dry. And then this line here, and what I'm going to do just with my 2B is just do that with it, just to fill it in a little bit so I don't lose it, because that's an important feature to our wolf. And then just carry on doing what we were doing. Because as we start rubbing our blend and stump in, we're going to lose that line, and we need that line. Foxes kind of have this similar line as well. I need to look at some extenders and just see if there's any suitable for these pencils, because they're not very thick barreled, so I can hear him moving, so I wonder if he's able to find it. This line here is a dark line as well. Kind of want to make sure I've got that in. Everyone wants to learn how to draw fur. I see it on I'm on quite a lot of pencil groups, and I see it all the time, but then very rarely do they want to do this much work. But to give it that realism and that lift, you have to put in all these little tiny pencil strokes. I'd love to know how many times my pencil hits the board, because I imagine it's thousands when I'm doing something as furry like this. You have to put the effort in, and it's tiring, and it's a little bit, sometimes it's a little bit tedious, but the result is so worth it. He's not moving anymore, which means he has not opened my message, and I will continue to work with the world's smallest pencil. I do usually keep the spares on me, but yesterday I moved the pencils around and just got rid of some old blending stumps which I seemed to keep hold of for no reason, and I just put them in a different case and then forgot to pick it up. Okay, managed to fill all that in. Let's give that a good smooth. I'm going to go in for the mono. We're just going to tippity tap some away. Little tiny strokes. And just keeping those edges nice and sharp and clean. Yeah, a lot of people don't have patience for realism. I have a lot of time for it because I know the result. Like, I can't wait to share one of the pieces I'm working on right now. Oh, Monica sent me a photo. I am definitely going to look at this. Is it a new pencil? Oh, yours is just a small. Yeah, but like look at the size of this. Like, it's I mean, I have quite small hands actually. This is barely fitting in. Look, there's the pencil and there's the mono eraser. It's tiny. He's coming upstairs. Has he brought it? Thanks. Yay! Brand new tubing. That was a sneaky stealth upstairs. There we go. Kids one. I now have an appropriate length 2B pencil. Flicking the mono out here as we're coming down this little patchy of fur. And if you're thinking of signing up, I know there's not many here right now, but a lot of people watch this after and join after my classes. I have a really lovely supportive group of people who, if I don't comment on something because I might not have seen it yet, you know, they always put some lovely comments on for other students. It's really lovely. It's a really nice group. It's really safe to share on. It's just open to students only. And there's lots of content to work through on my Patreon right now. And we've got an exciting project next month. We've got a beautiful, I think it might be a Sumatran tiger. I don't think it's an Amur, but I need to check. We've got a wonderful tiger drawing to do. Very angry moggy. Looking forward to that one. Because as much as I love all these like really nice pretty animals, I really want someone angry. Okay, nice sharp 2B again. I'm not worried about where this pencil's going to go as such, around those little white bits that we just put down. Yeah, the group is really lovely. And I will never, unless the platform changes pricing, my prices will stay the same for my tutorials online. This is like the first time you'll have the opportunity to draw a full animal with me, which is really nice, and I'll try and do these as much as I can. But we'll do lots of like studies and stuff, which would be really pretty, really nice to work with. If you want to draw anything else that I do, It's all on my Patreon. Let's have a little look. There's somebody yesterday, day before, moaned at me about cookies on Patreon. They were like, why do I need to accept cookies? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't own the page. Very, very bizarre. So I just need to sharpen this up again. Just needs that edge just a little bit sharper. That's nice. Yeah, I really like the community I've built. It's really lovely. I just like to bring some more of you in. And if you're looking for the link, it's just there. If you go over some of the white zones that you put in earlier, don't worry about it, because all it's doing is just creating a deviation in your graphite pencil. So a natural deviation, so you're already still producing a lot of fur. Just try and keep your pencil rotating, just so you keep that sharpness. Otherwise you get kind of like this grainy, like I've started to get it here, so I'm just going to sharpen up again. You get this kind of graininess, which is great for some textures but not for something like this. If you're wanting to create little structures of hair, you kind of need to keep that pencil rotating, and sometimes you just need to sharpen it up again. Just on the edge here, I'm just going to push that pencil in a little bit more. A lot of people talk about the struggles of, you know, going a bit darker, because no one wants to ruin the work. You all know if you press too hard, you can't remove what you've just put down, and you can feel quite disheartened if you've pressed too much. But all you'd have to do in that sort of scenario is just balance it everywhere. So whatever depth you've put down, put it down everywhere else where it needs to be in your darker patches, and then you'll just naturally create that little balance, that natural balance between it all. Whereas if you just leave it, it's going to be the first thing you look at. Whereas when you look at something like this where there's lots of shades of graphite, you're not drawn to a particular area just yet. The idea is that you're drawn in at the eye. But at this current stage, when you're looking at it, your eyes are quite happy to move around the page and just look at what it is like you're drawing. But if I just put like the biggest dark spot here, you're going to see it a mile off, and that's just where you don't graduate it out. And I literally say this all the time, you have to graduate both sides of the depth. So for example, if you've put a dark patch here, when I come to draw underneath, I need to graduate it out so it goes dark, dark, light, 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 light. You don't leave it completely dark. you have to still graduate it out. And then very rarely do I leave any white patches. Everything is always a different shade of grey. Where's my 2H gone? Oh, it's here. Okay, so shall I go for the eye? Or shall we? No. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. No. Let's carry on. We'll go for the eye in a minute, but let's bring in everything else. So we need to curve the pencil round. Like so. So just keep that pencil. So when we've got the eye here, we've got pencil that's coming, it always comes straight over and down. And then it kind of, this part here is quite interesting. We kind of have hair that goes out and then curves around. There's quite a bit of changes there. It kind of makes like a rounded turn, and then the hair again just turns around like so. So that's kind of what we're building on here, is we're just building on bringing that the hair over so it creates that natural realism. You must curve your pencil around. You must learn this technique. This is so imperative to all realism. Don't know what's going on there. My pencil's just gone a bit crazy, but it doesn't matter. We're in that first layer. I'm going to just struggle a minute just to get this curve over, so I'm just going to try and move a bit. Might end up covering the screen a little bit here. Now we've got a line that I'm just going to use my 2B with to make sure we don't lose that line or this line. Okay, so I know they're there. Okay, so we've got the first initial layers down. Just give that a nice smooth in. We can see where I did that tiny bit of 2B on those eye wrinkly bits. We haven't lost them in the smooth. We'll switch into that 2B now. And we'll start coming down. Again, it's a very tricky zone for me to just work on, just in being right-handed, and I don't want to cover up the screen. It's quite tricky. What do you use for cleaning the blending stump? Did you not get these with your blending stumps? It's like a little, all it is sandpaper. And the ones that I linked on my materials guide, you should have got like a few of them and then one of these. Whatever you do, don't put it in a pencil sharpener. It does not work. You didn't get that? Interesting. Just get a bit of sandpaper. Yeah, I'll just show you. So you need quite a hard surface, and then you just like roll it around on the sandpaper. That is literally it. It's really quite simple. Did you say you tried that? It might not have had enough grit on it. Oh, you tried the in the pencil sharpener. Yeah, I did that as well. I learnt my lesson pretty quick. Do not put it in. But yeah, just a bit of sandpaper on a hard surface. That'll do it. So here comes a little bit of balance in here. So got my deeper line in the center. And then I'm just going to allow the first few steps after it just to match, and then go a bit lighter. That's how you balance things. You just allow it to have the depth at the bottom and then just graduate it out to lighter. That's very dark there, I don't want to lose that. So I'm really struggling just to get this little angle here. It's always a struggle of mine, just always the left eye and just getting in that curve in the right way without covering the screen. So do forgive me a little bit there. Give that a smooth in. Just a nice soft smooth, you don't need to push too much. Okay, I'm going to sharpen up my 2B. How are we an hour in already? Where has that gone? Oh my gosh. I can't believe that. I honestly thought it'd only been half an hour. Try not to lengthen your pencil strokes too much. Like I sometimes notice myself doing it, and I just have to catch myself and just stop and just be like, no, shorten them. This is very short hair. Don't look at the time. I've been itching to have her out this week, so you know, I really do like drawing wild animals. I think it's real fun to do something completely different. As much as I love my horses and my dogs, just to get something different out is great. So we've got like quite a light zone here. I'm just going to put in another layer of 2B, and then we'll use our mono just to lighten up some of the hairs. Oh, that's amazing! Copenhagen, nice! Is that with school? Oh, a uni course. Amazing, what will she be doing? Okay, I'm going to go for that mono. And I'm just going to bring in some very gentle, light hairs here. Just need to sharpen up that mono. Yeah, I wish her all the best from me. She won't need it though. It's good to experience these things. Kind of wish I did a bit more travelling in my youth. Something I definitely didn't do enough of. Building surveying, nice. That's always going to give us some money. Fair play to her. Oh, just angles just catching me a bit here. Let's switch into that 4B, nice and sharp. Just to bring in a couple of just darker features here. Especially down here again, just gonna, you may just need to keep sharpening your 4B here just to bring out this little bit of detail that it just needs. This here is very dark. I need to not be afraid of it. And then just balance it on both sides there, just so it fits in. Make sure you're flicking that pencil out a bit more. Already that looks loads better. Adding in these darker patches here and there. Just going to really pull it out. Just really small choppy strokes before we head and draw that eye. Okay, I'm going to go for 2B. Just going to zoom in on this eye. Okay, so we'll leave the rest of the fur and we'll just start drawing this eye. You twirl your pencil like me. Yeah, it's important. You've got to keep that sharpness. Okay, so looking at this eye, so this is my bottom eyelid, but I haven't put in, there's a little line here. That's just going to go from the corner of the eye and the same round this way as well. So it's going to come under. And we can just see the edge of the eyeball here. Nice and round shape. And we've got another I'm just following that round. Wolves have like a little point, and then the pencil's gonna come over like so, and then that's gonna join as that bottom eyelid. Looks good. Okay. So I'm actually going to stay with the 2B because it's quite a small area rather than doing a 2H and a 2B. I'm going to go for the pupil. Well, actually no, I'm lying. I am going to do a 2H layer, but I'm going to go for my pupil first. Now, it's carnivore. It's got typical round pupils, but we can't see that its pupils round because we can only see a small section of it, which kind of has like this little meeting point. Now I'm going to go for the 2H. I'm going to circle around my eye. We haven't got any white points in the eye. And also we kind of want almost like an oval shape. Rather than a round, we want kind of an oval shape going on. Because big cats and carnivores and things, they kind of have like this overly shape, and then it makes the pupil look the same. Doesn't make the pupil, the eye, sorry, look round. It's like an illusion. But it's how you get that grumpy, nasty look, if you like. Okay, gonna go back to that 2B after that real good smoothing. I'm just going to go for around the bottom of the eye first. Again, this is quite tricky with me being right-handed. Don't want to lose that edge there. And then as we come up under this eyelid, we can see that it's quite dark. I think I've rounded my eye too much. I'm just going to remove a little bit of the roundness. Yeah, I did. I put too much of a point on it. That's the beauty of working so lightly. I could just remove that. Wasn't working. Again, going for the circling in the eye. And give that a smooth in. And we won't put too much graphite in the actual eye itself. I think I might have put too much in for myself actually. Let's see if I can just balance that out. Staying with the 2B. It's quite dark on that bottom top eyelid. So I'm going to allow it to be. But remember, whatever your darkest point, if you've got other dark points on your drawing, they need to match. A little bit of detail, a little bit of like line detail just coming through, and then I'm just gently going to dab away that lightness. I might even actually, a bit of a dabbing going on here with my mono, a bit like what we did in the fox eye. Guys, I've done the fox, I think some of you have. Just a little pull in that eye. Look at that. Oh, it looks so good. You want that kind of intimidation look that a category A animal would give you. Actually, these might be category B. Actually, I might be wrong, they're not category A. Category A animals usually are those that keepers do not have any sort of contact with. Dangerous animals, highly dangerous animals, but I'm pretty sure wolves come under category B, which is a work in pairs. I think it can vary on the individuals. Just going to strengthen up that edge. But they don't do anything with them, from what I know. They just can go into the enclosure, but they have to be with other keepers. Okay, going for the 2H. Just to fill in this section. pulling that pencil up. Now, this section here, just above the eye, there's a little bit of like, gonna have to go for nice sharp pencils. It's kind of, how can I draw this? I'll do it over here so you can see. So it's kind of doing this up and down. So that's kind of what we're going for here. Same with that 2H, just finish off underneath the eye as well. Along this bottom eyelid. And then go for your 2B. We can see there's quite a bit of depth here first. Kind of meets and then just along this bottom eyelid line, I'm just kind of doing little almost like diddly lines, because the hair's actually going to come down and round, but it still kind of needs that little bit of an edge. And staying with that 2B, just going to cut into that eyelid just to make it a bit easier, otherwise it's quite tricky. But we're starting to get somewhere. Just want to make sure it stays nice and soft. I don't want to add too much thickness or 2B. Again, just thickening that up. You guys are really quiet tonight, not really asking me much. Talk to me. I'm just going to lighten up this corner. Go away. Just wanted to lighten up that corner. I've got a little bit of detail in the eye there that I just wanted to add in. Yeah, I know, the pupil thing. Yeah, so most carnivores have round pupils. Most cats have like a slice in their eye, but big cats don't. But yeah, horses, goats, sheep, they all have these rectangular eyes, and it's so that basically they've got their own sunglasses on, so when they're grazing, they're not affected by the sunlight. It's quite clever, really. They're their own pair of sunnies. concentrating. Well, good to hear it. I'm going to switch back to that 2H. Go away. Just so we can land that eye. This way it gets really interesting. The hair does actually go quite straight here. Like it matches on both sides before it kind of deviates off into a different direction. And this side is all nice and curled. Again, another smoothie in. Staying with that that's a 2B. I'm going to go back for the 2H. So I'm going to curve the pencil over here. And then we're going to curve it the other way. So we've got over and then under. Interestingly, there's a small left hand curve there, just a very small one where it meets that. This goes over in this corner and then simply curves round. I do love it when there's a slight deviation of fur, just to throw us off the scent. Okay, again, going to give that a nice smooth in. Okay, to 2B. I need to get back into doing TikTok live streams. It's been a long time since I've done one. Maybe I'll do one this weekend if I get time. Looks so good. Just remember, so I'm just going to show you guys how soft my drawing is, because I have the sharpness up. So I'm just going to drop it quickly so you can just see the softness of the piece. So you can see the huge difference that just made. So it's very, very soft. But just for the purpose of this, I have this up really quite high, just so you can see that pencil direction quite easily. Just remember, try and be as soft as you can. It's very important. It does look lovely, doesn't it? Like, I'm really pleased with how it's looking, or how she's looking, I should say. Again, just a nice little smoothing. We'll use our mono to really pull this out. Nice clean edges if you can. You're just going to pull from the eyelid line. And really pull them out. That's why it's important to have nice clean edges here. Okay, go in my 2B again, and I'm just gonna tidy that up. I mean, nice sharp 2B. I have a question. How do you go from a small picture to line art? Huh? What do you mean? How do you go from a small picture to line art? I don't understand. Elaborate. I'm just really softly if you have a small photo and you want to make it bigger in line art so you can do a drawing. Oh, I see. I mean, anything that I do is transferred onto my laptop. So like, for example, like Nina's photo here, I saw on Facebook. I have full permissions from her to use them. So I put it onto my laptop so I can see it, then I create a line art from that through Photoshop. Does that make sense? If they're really distorted photos, you can make them bigger in in Photoshop. Photoshop is a fantastic program. You can make things quite big and stretch it out, and it will stitch in those missing pixels. Not great, but to an extent. Hope I'm answering your question how you wanted me to there. But it's worth having Photoshop if you do more things like commissions and stuff in the future. But it's an expensive program. There are other programs that you can use. I think Infinity Photo is one, but my personal preference is Photoshop. Okay, going back to that. Yeah, Photoshop is, so I go for your 2H. I pay $19 a month for Photoshop. So we're going to curve our pencil around this little bit here. coming from these central. But it's worth having if you're going to use it and learn it. Like, Photoshop is a fantastic program, and I create all my line arts in it with using like a drawing tablet. So I actually physically draw out your line arts for the classes. But it's one of those programs, like, if you're not going to utilize it, then don't get it, because it's a waste of money. But yeah, I pay the $19 a month because I get a terabyte of online storage, and I use that. Everything's backed up, so. Okay, I'm going to smooth that in, just gently, just so I can still kind of see. Kind of, hopefully you guys saw it, we kind of fanned the pencil around. So I'm going to do that again with my 2B here. So what I want is to ensure that the depth is still going on around it. So it's all a little bit darker. But if it's an old photo that you're thinking of drawing, just be mindful that old photos are very difficult and it can leave you a little bit more demoralised. So just be mindful of what you're drawing when you're practicing, that it's a photo that you think that you can reproduce from. Because yeah, I get stung with it all the time. Like, I'm literally about to do my second refund in 3 years, where I said I could take on a piece of work and I generally can't, because I can't see anything. Even in Photoshop, just can't seem to get it to do anything that I need it to do. So yeah, just be very mindful of it. So I'm just building around first, just before we carry on with that little area. And so you can see it sticking out like a sore thumb. Photoshop can do some things, but not everything. Like, I was hoping I'd be able to blow up this photo a bit more so I could see the detail, and I just can't. So yeah, tricky one with Photoshop. It's good if you utilise the program. Like, I'm pretty much on Photoshop every day. I design all my personal leaflets through there, banners, the line arts, check colour balances of photos. Yeah, I do all of that in Photoshop. I'm just going back in this, and I'm just gonna curve that pencil in around. We will use our mono mostly to bring this out, but we just need to add a little bit of depth, a little bit of pencil direction. And this is where we're going to get quite a bit of an intense look from our wolf, just from adding in these like final bits of detail around the eye. That's going to anchor it in. Just try not to lose this little bit too much in all the pencil work you're putting around it. Try and make sure you can still see where it was sitting. That's going to come from a little bit of work just around the edges of it. Okay, I'm going to go for that mono. Clean it up. Wow, only 20 minutes left. Where has that gone? I'm just really pulling out some of these white hairs. Another question, are grey horses hard to draw in graphite? I would love to do a drawing of our lovely grey mare. Absolutely not. Have you done Blue's nose yet? As a tutorial? And I'm pretty sure you've done the golden retriever, right? Top of my head. No looking at the clock. I have to. And you see how we just pulled that out just so easily? And it was just so where we created around, built up around it first. And it's just going to help some of these lighter zones just pop out that bit more, but we're going to see them a bit more. You haven't done blue. I would recommend you go and do Blue's nose after you've done your next tutorial. I think you're doing the fox at the moment. Reason being is Blue's nose is a grey horse, and it's all about pencil trickery with greys. So it's how you're going to learn how to balance your graphite a bit better, and it's by it's what taught me anyway. Your darkest point is what's going to pull out a grey horse. I love drawing grey horses. I think they are the best subject to have on the board because they're so fun to really create the natural realism. So give Blue's nose a go next. Just sharpening this up again. I would have loved to have done a full Blue tutorial, but I wasn't allowed to. Just going to lighten underneath again. I didn't get full permission for, because he was a commission, and he's probably one of my most recognised pieces that I've done. The owner didn't want too many blues being produced, but she was happy for his snores to be done, so. Yeah, I know you have to, but I look forward to spending a couple of hours on Friday with you. Never enough, but better than nothing. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Well, maybe you should do parts 1 and 2 and join in next time. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do part 3. So I need to figure that out in this next few days. Because I'm very busy in these next few weeks, especially as we're coming closer to the marathon. So, yeah. Just keep an eye out. There'll be an announcement in the next few days. Or the next week or so when I'll next do the next live. Oh, it looks so good. Like, where are we for time? So, and we've got 20 minutes. So I think what we'll do is we'll just build on the fur, and then hopefully that will take us in for that 20 minutes. So back to your 2H pencils, and we're going to start. I'm going to move this down actually so we can see it. Let's just give her a move. What was that? That's a good spot. Make sure you watch it on TV. never know, you might get a glimpse of me. Probably crying in the corner, questioning my life choices. That's definitely going to happen on the day. Oh, can you not watch it on the... Is it not broadcasted worldwide? That's a shame. It'll be on YouTube. Someone will be... It'll be over on... I guarantee it'll be live on TikTok. Can almost guarantee that. It's how the world works now, isn't it? If it goes on TikTok. Oh, you're going to send me some Norwegian chocolate. Yes. I love the Norwegian chocolate. Oh my days, you're gonna ruin my body before I get to the marathon. I mean, I will gladly accept bars of chocolate from Norway. If not, if it's not broadcast, I will be doing some, more than likely, some live footage of the marathon. I'm going to document the whole day. Nice smoothing on that bottom layer. You need it after marathon. I need it before. I need it for motivation. My word. I've got a 12-mile run this weekend. And do you know what's really weird? Is that I'm really looking forward to it. Whereas if I said, like, if someone said to me last year, yeah, you'll enjoy running 10 miles, I'd be like, what? Who enjoys running 10 miles? Me, apparently. This makes me giggle. It's crazy. Like, my easy runs, like, I'll say I'm going for an easy run today. That easy run is 3 to 5 miles. Oh wait, you're in the States, so I need to Google 5 mile. Get off YouTube. 5 mile in kilometers. 8 kilometers is my easy runs. It's just crazy. Looking forward to go and lie down in a dark room immediately. Seriously, God, you're enjoying it though. It's crazy, isn't it? I think that's what's important when you train for something like this, is that you actually enjoy it. Because I think if I didn't enjoy it, I'd hate this. I also think if my friend, who technically wasn't supposed to be running the marathon, but now is, if she wasn't doing it, I probably wouldn't be enjoying myself at this point. I think I'd be quite upset with myself for doing this and committing to it. So yeah, there's a lot of factors in, like, the fact that I really enjoy it. So I'm just doing this second base layer with the 2B. And again, just another smooth. And we'll sharpen up. And we'll start rotating our pencils round and creating that fur. I actually received a box of chocolate from New Zealand the other day. I love getting chocolate from New Zealand and Norway. I have to say, American chocolate, I was so disappointed. I don't know what it is, but compared to ours, like, we are so lucky here in the UK to have such lovely chocolate, because I can't imagine living in a country that has terrible chocolate. Like, literally, Easter eggs, they don't have them in the States. You should see our supermarket aisles at this time of year. Oh my days, it is like nothing you've ever experienced before. It is unbelievable. Like, literally. I'm doing £2 Easter eggs at the minute, and it's driving me crazy because I'm trying to train and also scoff down an Easter egg is not a good idea. I do like the McDonald's portions in America though, they're pretty decent. Can't finish it. Oh, honestly, what do they do to your chocolate in the States? Like, I honestly thought that American chocolate would be so superior. It is terrible. It is so bad. I remember sitting in New York like, what is this? I need to complain, but who do I find to complain? Crazy. Didn't even bother trying chocolate cake. Norwegian chocolate. You need to try Norwegian chocolate. Oh my days. Whenever we go to Norway, we come back with like almost like sackfuls of chocolate. New Zealand's not bad. There's some good and some really terrible choices. I don't even think it's sugar. I think it's the other stuff that's in it. Whatever it is they put in it, they ruin it. I think what it is they put like an anti-melting thing in, don't they? Which is vile. They do it in Australia as well. Like the dairy milk over in Australia. I mean, I hate dairy milk anyway, but like the dairy milk in Australia versus the dairy milk here, same with New Zealand, is very different. Swiss chocolate, I see like Toblerone and stuff. Interesting. You need to try and get your hands on Terry's Chocolate Orange. That'll change your life forever. You don't do milk chocolate? What? It's because your chocolate's rubbish. Like, you haven't had Galaxy. You can't say you don't do milk chocolate unless you've had some Galaxy, because Galaxy is unbelievable. Literally, I could live off that stuff. Well, guys, we are coming to the end, and I don't want to do too much more because we're so close to starting into this ear. Yeah, you need to try some milk chocolate. No. And again, Galaxy's sublime. Who is not eating milk chocolate? I need to prove them wrong. You've caused a bit of a a little bit of a stir here, Gidget. Monica is one of my followers on YouTube, but found me through TikTok. Whisper. I'm not a fan of Whisper. I do like white chocolate. And this is interesting. So I don't like dairy milk. Like, no matter how much dairy milk you give me, I don't like it. I don't eat it. I end up throwing it away or giving it to someone else. But Cadbury's do white chocolate buttons. Oh my days. Those are life. I just love Cadbury's white buttons. Like, literally, I went through not last year, when I was pregnant, I think it was. I was going through like a packet a day. Oh, I just love them. You can't really pick them up in places much anymore though, which is a real shame. I think I get them on Amazon, but I haven't looked at the prices in a very long time. Send it to me. Which? Send what to you? Oh, Galaxy? No. Cadbury's? No, my other half would take it from me now. In fact, he loves it when I get Cadbury's because he knows I'm not going to eat it. Like, he walked past me before with a Freddo Easter egg. He was like, mine. I was like, oh, I can't argue with that. It's facts. I don't know. I've never liked Cadbury's milk chocolate. Right, I'm just gonna, it's a little bit harsh in places, so I'm just gonna soften it a little bit, just put gently glaze my blending stump over just to soften it down. But looks beautiful. Dairy milk. Well, most Cadbury's actually, but dairy milk is a definite no-no in my books. Don't mind curly whirlies. Love a curly whirly. Oh my days. But yeah, generally not a fan. Soz, if anyone here works for Cadbury's. Chocolate's rubbish, man. You need to work with me more. I'll teach you proper chocolate. I should be a chocolate taster. It's a job, right? Cream eggs? Oh god, no. No. They should be banned. Vile. Absolutely not. Oh, this was just slightly off screen, so I was just strengthening a little bit of this line here. Just as we're finishing it now. I don't really want to put too much new detail in. I just wanted to just darken that little line in this one here. We need to see Willy Wonka. Honestly, whoever makes chocolate are just kings. Like, they ruin but make my life. Oh, I hate them. Cream eggs, vile. If I was in charge of chocolate, they'd be gone. Terrace chocolate orange is king. I really want chocolate now, and it's past, like, it's 9 o'clock. Like, okay. I am not going to draw anymore. And I am going to pencils down there. And I just wanted to thank you guys for keeping me company, chatting away to me this evening, and creating this beautiful wolf so far. In the next session, whether it's recorded or live, we'll do that right here, and then we'll come down to the eye here, and then we'll start working on the left part of the cheek and then coming across the nose bridge. Generally, I like to try and ensure that each section is done before we move to the next part, and so on and so forth. Thank goodness you're not. I will catch you guys very soon. I'll try and pen a date in for us to continue this. It might not be next week, it might be the week after. But I'll just check my diary and just see what I can do. If not, I will record the next part so you guys get that next weekend. I'll pop out a poll on the Patreon group and see what you guys want me to do. But yes, thank you very much for joining me this evening, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Take care and have a wonderful day or evening.